The morning sky over New York City was clear, the kind that made people pause and feel calm. But that calm shattered when the first alien ships appeared. They were enormous, moving silently, blocking the sun in parts of the city. At first, people thought it was some kind of natural phenomenon or a large satellite experiment. Then the news confirmed the truth. The ships were not human-made. They were alien. Governments around the world scrambled. Emergency meetings were called. Scientists, military leaders, and diplomats gathered in rooms that buzzed with tension. On television screens, reporters tried to capture the fear in people's eyes. But no footage could fully describe the enormity of the alien fleet, hovering just beyond the atmosphere. Then, as if the universe had decided to make things worse, a message arrived. Not on radio, not through satellites, but directly, in a form that every nation could understand. The alien communication was flawless. The words appeared in every language at the same time, projected in the sky, in holograms, on screens, even through mobile devices. The message was simple and shocking. I am Queen Solara of the Caliph. To ensure peace between our species, a human must marry me. Delay will risk the destruction of your world. Panic spread. Fear erupted. Governments argued, and the public reacted with disbelief, anger, and confusion. The idea that humanity might have to offer one of their own in marriage to an alien queen felt absurd. And yet, the ships were real. The threat clear. World leaders convened in an emergency session at the United Nations. Delegates spoke in rapid succession. Some demanded war, insisting that no human would bow to an alien demand. Others argued for diplomacy, pointing out that the Caliph ships could obliterate cities in minutes. Entire nations were paralyzed, unsure whether to fight or negotiate. Amid this chaos, one name surfaced again and again: Alex Harper. He was young but respected. As a diplomat who had worked in multiple conflict zones, he had shown intelligence, courage, and fairness. People trusted him. Leaders knew that if anyone could represent humanity in such a dangerous situation, it was him. Alex sat in his apartment, staring at the glowing messages on his tablet. His heart raced. They want me, he whispered to himself. He had always dealt with complex negotiations, but this was beyond anything he had imagined. His fingers shook as he read the Queen's message again. The weight of the world suddenly pressed on his shoulders. The next day, Alex was summoned to the United Nations headquarters. As he entered the massive glass building, security was tight. He was guided through corridors filled with military personnel and reporters. Every step echoed in the marble halls, reminding him of the magnitude of what he was about to face. In the central chamber, leaders from every major nation awaited him. Their faces were tense, some anxious, others skeptical. Alex, began the Secretary General, the world needs you. Queen Solara's demand is not negotiable. She has the power to destroy us, but she also wants peace. We believe you are the best choice to engage with her. Alex nodded slowly. He swallowed his fear, though it churned inside him like a storm. I understand, he said. I will do what I can. By evening, preparations were underway. A specialized shuttle equipped with the latest human technology was ready to take him to the Caliph mothership. The ship was enormous, so massive that it seemed to stretch beyond the horizon. Its surface was smooth, almost alive, shimmering with energy. It was beautiful, terrifying, and unlike anything humans had ever seen. As Alex's shuttle approached, he felt the weight of thousands of eyes watching him from Earth. People looked to him as a symbol of hope, a reminder that humanity had faced impossible odds before. He took a deep breath, recalling the words his father had once told him. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. The shuttle docked with a quiet hum. Airlocks opened and Alex stepped onto the Caliph ship. The interior was unlike any building he had seen. The walls pulsed with light and floors moved smoothly beneath his feet. Everything seemed alive, as if the ship itself were aware of his presence. Then he saw her. Queen Solara appeared at the far end of the chamber. She was tall, elegant, with skin that shimmered in shades of blue and silver. Her eyes were large, bright, and filled with intelligence. There was power in the way she moved, a grace that was both mesmerizing and intimidating. Alex Harper, she said, her voice calm but commanding. You have come willingly. That shows courage. Alex bowed slightly, unsure of how to respond. Your Majesty, he said, using the words he had practiced, though they felt inadequate. I am here to understand your demand and to work toward peace. Solara's eyes studied him. Marriage in our culture is not a personal matter. It is a pact, a symbol of trust and unity between our peoples. If humanity refuses, conflict will follow. I do not desire war, but I will defend my species. Alex swallowed. He realized that this was bigger than him, bigger than humanity. The fate of his world rested on diplomacy, courage, and perhaps ingenuity that went beyond anything he had ever done. I understand, Your Majesty, he said. I will do my best to honor this pact, in whatever way is required to ensure peace. Solara nodded. Very well. To determine if you are worthy of this bond, you must undergo tests. They will examine your courage, your wisdom, and your empathy. Only then will I decide if you are the right choice for this symbolic union. Alex's stomach tightened. Tests? He had faced negotiations and conflicts, but this was something entirely different. He had to prove humanity itself, its heart, mind, and soul through him. The Queen gestured to a large portal. It shimmered like water in sunlight. Step through when you are ready. Your trials begin immediately. Alex took a deep breath and stepped forward. As the light enveloped him, he felt a strange sensation like floating and falling at the same time. The world around him changed. He was no longer on Earth, no longer in a shuttle, no longer in a room. He was in a place that seemed real and unreal at the same time, a simulation designed to test him. The first trial was a battlefield. Alien creatures attacked in relentless waves. Alex had no weapons, yet instinctively he used the environment, barriers, debris, and quick thinking to survive. The trial tested his courage, showing that even a single human could adapt and face overwhelming odds. When the simulation ended, Alex fell to his knees, exhausted but alive. The light shifted and the next trial appeared. A series of complex puzzles, ethical dilemmas, and scenarios that required wisdom to resolve. Alex had to make choices that affected simulated civilizations, balancing fairness, strategy, and morality. With every decision, he felt humanity's capacity for reasoning and justice being reflected back at him. Finally, the last trial appeared. It was quiet, unlike the others. Alex was presented with the perspective of the Kalith people, their fears, hopes, and values. He had to show empathy to truly understand them. He felt their struggles and realized that peace required more than bravery or wisdom. It required the ability to connect, to care, and to respect even those who seemed alien. When the light faded, Alex found himself back in the chamber. Queen Solara watched him silently. He was exhausted, his mind spinning, but he felt a strange sense of accomplishment. He had faced the trials and survived, showing courage, wisdom, and empathy, the qualities that defined humanity at its best. Solara stepped closer. You have passed the trials, Alex Harper. You understand the meaning of this bond. You have shown that humanity is capable of courage, intelligence, and empathy. I will consider you a worthy representative. Alex exhaled deeply, relief and fear mixing together. The journey had just begun. The trials had tested him, but the true challenge, the challenge of bridging two worlds, was still ahead. Outside, the Earth continued to spin beneath the alien fleet. Humanity watched, waited, and hoped. The world had been shaken, yes, but perhaps for the first time. They could see that even in the face of the unknown, human spirit could shine brighter than fear. And somewhere above, in the quiet strength of a young diplomat, the first bridge between species was being built. Alex Harper stood in the central chamber of the Kalith mothership, still catching his breath from the first trial. The simulated battlefield had tested his courage, and though he survived, the memory of alien creatures swarming in relentless waves made his heart pound. Yet, even in exhaustion, he knew that the trials were not over. Queen Solara's voice echoed softly, though powerfully, across the chamber. The trial of courage was only the first step. Now you will face the trial of wisdom. A true bond between species cannot exist without understanding, reason, and insight. You must prove that you can think not only as a human but as a representative of your entire civilization. The chamber transformed. The walls melted into holographic projections, showing entire cities and alien settlements. Complex scenarios unfolded before him. Alex could see Kalith colonies struggling with resource shortages, disputes between alien factions, and dilemmas where a single choice could save or destroy thousands. A voice, calm yet commanding, guided him through the trial. You must decide how to respond to these challenges. Your choices will determine whether humanity can be trusted to uphold peace. Alex focused. He remembered the thousands of eyes on Earth, the millions of people depending on him. He began with the first dilemma. A Caliph colony on a distant planet faced famine due to a failed harvest. The leaders argued about whether to ration food strictly, risking starvation for some, or distribute evenly, risking depletion for all. Alex thought carefully. He proposed a solution that combined rationing with intelligent resource sharing, suggesting a rotational system that preserved supplies while protecting the most vulnerable. His reasoning was logical, fair, and compassionate. The simulation responded, showing the colony surviving and adapting. Next, he encountered a conflict between two alien factions over a newly discovered planet rich in energy resources. One faction wanted immediate control, while the other argued for sustainable management. Alex realized that this choice mirrored humanity's own history, where greed and short-sightedness often led to conflict. He proposed a shared governance system, with representatives from both factions working together to manage the resources. The simulation paused. A holographic projection of Solara appeared. You are showing creativity and strategic thinking. Your ability to balance competing interests demonstrates wisdom, but empathy is still required. You must consider the feelings and needs of those affected. Alex nodded, understanding that logic alone was not enough. He approached the final challenge of the wisdom trial, a scenario where a Caliph scientist discovered a dangerous technology capable of destroying entire planets. The dilemma was whether to use it preemptively to defend against potential threats or to destroy it entirely, even though it could advance civilization if used wisely. Alex hesitated, knowing that one wrong answer could mean failure. He weighed the potential outcomes. Preemptive use risked moral compromise. Destruction could halt progress. Finally, he proposed a middle path. Secure the technology, study it, and create strict oversight with combined representatives from multiple factions, including humans. By balancing caution with progress, he addressed both safety and advancement. The holographic chamber dissolved, leaving Alex in a quiet, softly glowing room. He felt a sense of accomplishment, though the trial had drained him mentally. He had shown strategy, fairness, and foresight, qualities he hoped reflected humanity's potential. Queen Solara appeared again. Her gaze was steady, assessing but not unkind. You have shown wisdom beyond your years, Alex Harper. You see the world not only as a battlefield, but as a network of consequences and responsibilities. But wisdom alone is insufficient. You must now face the trial of empathy. Alex's stomach tightened. Empathy. He had survived battles, solved problems, and made logical decisions, but understanding an alien species at a profound emotional level was something he had never done. The chamber transformed again, this time into a quiet, starry expanse. The stars seemed to stretch endlessly, reflecting a sense of solitude and introspection. A holographic Caliph child appeared, alone and frightened. Alex instinctively approached, kneeling down. He remembered children on Earth caught in war zones and famine. His heart ached for this little being. "It's okay," he said softly. "I am here. You are not alone." The child's hologram dissolved, replaced by an entire alien village facing fear and uncertainty. Alex walked among them, listening to their concerns. He realized that empathy was not just understanding fear, it was understanding hope, dreams, and the value each life held. He spoke to the projections, reassuring them, proposing solutions, and showing compassion for every challenge they faced. Solara's voice broke the silence. Empathy requires more than action, Alex Harper. It requires connection. You must see through their eyes, feel through their hearts, and recognize their value. Only then can you truly represent humanity. Alex closed his eyes, imagining himself as the aliens. He felt their anxieties, their hopes for safety, their desire for respect. And in doing so, he realized something profound. Empathy was what set humans apart. Humans had survived wars, disasters, and countless challenges, not always because of strength but because of the ability to care for one another, to inspire hope and to act morally even when it was difficult. The chamber shifted once more. He found himself in a vast hall where multiple Calith projections spoke at once, expressing fear, anger, and hope. Alex listened, responding with honesty and sincerity. He admitted humanity's mistakes, but also highlighted their resilience, creativity, and capacity for good. Slowly, the tension in the holograms eased. The aliens' expressions softened, a reflection of trust growing between species. Queen Solara appeared in the center of the hall, her gaze calm but piercing. You have faced courage, wisdom, and empathy. You have shown that humanity possesses qualities worthy of trust and respect. Not all species can do what you have done. Alex exhaled, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders, though he knew the journey was far from over. He had passed the trials, but the real challenge, the test of bridging two civilizations, of preventing war and fostering peace, was just beginning. Solara stepped closer, her presence both commanding and reassuring. The trials were designed not just to test you, Alex Harper, but to show you the responsibility of this bond. Marriage in Calith culture is not personal, it is symbolic. It represents trust, alliance, and the willingness to protect life. Your actions reflect not only yourself but all of humanity. Alex nodded. I understand, Your Majesty. I will do my best to honor that trust. Outside the chamber, the Calith fleet continued to hover over Earth. Nations watched nervously. They had seen Alex's courage and intelligence in action, and they hoped it was enough. For the first time, humanity was not just reacting to alien power. They were participating in shaping interstellar relations, proving that their spirit, creativity, and moral strength could influence even the most advanced civilizations. Solara gestured toward a large observation window. Through it, Alex could see Earth, spinning beneath the alien fleet. Cities glimmered with lights, and in every corner of the world, people held their breath, waiting to see if peace could be achieved. You have done well so far, Solara said softly. But the world outside this ship is fragile. Radicals exist among my people. Those who oppose peace will test you and humanity further. You must prepare for challenges beyond these trials. You must show leadership, courage, and empathy not only in simulation but in reality. Alex felt the enormity of her words. The trials had been simulations, yet real threats loomed. Radicals who opposed the peace treaty could strike at any moment, threatening Earth, the Calith, and the fragile bond being formed. But Alex also felt something else, a spark of hope. He had seen that humans could think, adapt, and care in ways that mattered. Even before the symbolic marriage, humanity had proven its worth. He realized that their ingenuity, moral strength, and courage were not just tools for survival. They were keys to building bridges between worlds. Solara's eyes softened as she looked at him. Remember, Alex Harper, peace is not a gift. It is earned, and it must be protected by those willing to act with wisdom and heart. Alex nodded. He knew that the trials were over, but the true work was just beginning. He had learned that courage alone was not enough. Wisdom alone was not enough. Empathy alone was not enough. But together, these qualities could make humanity a force capable of shaping the galaxy for good. And somewhere deep in his chest, Alex felt a quiet determination. He would face whatever came next, for humanity, for peace. And for the first time, he believed that two worlds, once so different, could truly find a path to understanding. Alex Harper returned to Earth briefly after completing the trials of courage, wisdom, and empathy aboard the Calith mothership. He had passed the tests and earned Queen Solara's respect, but the sense of relief was short-lived. Humanity faced a threat that was far more unpredictable than simulations. The radical faction among the Calith who opposed peace. The radicals had been silent observers until now, hidden in the shadows of the alien fleet. Their anger at the proposed symbolic marriage between Alex and Solara had reached a boiling point. Without warning, their ships attacked Earth satellites, causing widespread panic. Communications networks failed, GPS systems went dark, and military radar detected strange energy signatures. In New York, alarms blared as control centers lit up with red warnings. Military generals and scientists worked frantically to assess the damage. "They're trying to isolate us," said General Marquez, his voice tense. "They want to cripple communication and create chaos. If they succeed, it could lead to total panic, even mass casualties." Alex stood at the United Nations Command Center, reviewing reports with world leaders. His trials had taught him the value of wisdom and empathy, but now he needed courage in a real crisis. "We cannot panic," he said firmly. "We must coordinate. If the radicals want to provoke war, we will prove that humanity can face them without losing control. Our strength lies not just in weapons, but in strategy, adaptability, and unity." Scientists suggested reverse engineering some of the Caliph technology captured from the mothership's surveillance drones. It was risky. Humans had never handled such advanced tech. But Alex knew that innovation was humanity's greatest tool. "We must understand their energy signatures and communication methods," he instructed. "If we can adapt, we can turn their attacks into intelligence. We can protect ourselves while preparing to respond strategically." Meanwhile, the radicals escalated their attacks. Small ships appeared near major cities, firing energy pulses that disabled power grids and satellites. Panic spread in the streets. People ran for safety, unaware of the strategic efforts happening behind the scenes. Alex moved between command centers, offering guidance and calm assurance. "Stay focused," he told the military leaders. "Our job is to protect lives, not react impulsively. Every human life is valuable, and every decision matters." Alex coordinated a dual strategy. First, defensive measures to protect civilians and key infrastructure, and second, a scientific effort to understand the alien technology. Engineers and physicists worked alongside military strategists, blending human ingenuity with urgency. For the first time, humanity had to think and act like a species capable of interstellar diplomacy and defense. On the Caliph mothership, Queen Solara watched the situation unfold. She recognized the radicals' actions as dangerous, but also as a test. Alex's leadership would not only reflect his character, but the strength of humanity as a whole. She activated a communication link, sending a message to Alex. "Your world is under pressure. Show them your spirit. Show them why humans deserve trust." Alex received the message and smiled faintly. The Queen's words reminded him that this was bigger than fear or anger. This was about proving humanity's ability to survive, adapt, and rise above challenges. Back on Earth, Alex led a daring plan to intercept a radical strike team targeting New York City. Using a combination of reverse-engineered alien tech and human strategy, he and a small team of pilots and engineers set up an interception grid. The human team had never flown alien-influenced craft before, but Alex's leadership and calm presence inspired them. "Trust your training," he said. "Trust each other. We are not just defending a city. We are defending the idea that humans can stand strong, even when facing an unknown enemy." The first wave of radical ships arrived, firing energy pulses. The human pilots maneuvered their ships using clever strategies, dodging, reflecting, and even using some alien tech against them. Alex coordinated via headset, giving real-time instructions. "Left flank energy dampeners. Right side maintain formation." The battle was tense. Explosions lit the sky as human ingenuity met alien aggression. Despite the disparity in technology, humans adapted quickly. Engineers had modified the ships to counter alien energy weapons. Pilots used terrain, buildings, and unexpected tactics to gain an edge. Each small victory inspired the team, proving that courage and quick thinking could rival advanced tech. Meanwhile, Alex noticed a critical weakness in the radicals' formation. He relayed instructions to the pilots. "Focus on their communication nodes. Disrupt coordination and the rest will falter." The pilots executed the maneuver flawlessly, disabling several radical ships. Panic spread among the radicals and their coordinated attack began to crumble. On the ground, civilians watched in awe as lights in the sky danced like a battle of giants. For the first time, humanity was not just being threatened. They were actively resisting, using intelligence, creativity, and bravery to protect their world. Children peered out of windows, inspired by the courage of those defending their cities. After hours of tense combat, The radical ships retreated toward the Caliph fleet. The immediate threat to Earth was neutralized, but the danger had not passed. Alex knew the radicals were only temporarily scattered. He gathered the world leaders in the command center. This was only the beginning, he warned. We have shown resilience and ingenuity, but the radicals are not finished. Our response must be strategic, not reactive. We must learn from this, strengthen our defenses, and prepare for future challenges. The next day, scientists presented their findings. They had successfully adapted alien energy shields for cities, developed early warning systems for incoming ships, and created communication protocols to detect radical attacks before they happened. Alex was impressed. Humanity had not only survived, they had grown stronger. Queen Solara appeared via holographic projection. Her voice carried calm authority. Alex Harper, you have shown not only courage and wisdom, but leadership. Humanity has proven its value. But know this, radicals will continue to challenge peace. You must continue to guide your people, inspire them, and demonstrate that humans can protect life while upholding principles of fairness and morality. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her words. The trials aboard the mothership had prepared him for diplomacy and understanding, but the real test was here, on Earth, with lives at stake and unpredictable enemies. Yet he also felt a quiet pride. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and once again they had risen to the challenge. In a quiet moment, Alex walked through New York's streets, observing the resilience of ordinary people. Volunteers helped clear debris, engineers repaired damaged infrastructure, and communities worked together to support those affected. He realized that the true strength of humanity lay not only in strategy or technology, but in unity, compassion, and the willingness to act even in fear. Later, Alex convened a meeting with the Caliph Queen and her advisors via secure holographic link. We need a plan, he said. Radicals will strike again. But we can turn this into an opportunity. Humanity and the Caliph must work together, not just as allies, but as partners. If we can show the radicals that cooperation is stronger than conflict, we may prevent further attacks. Solara nodded. You are right, Alex Harper. This is more than a test of survival. It is a test of vision, strategy, and the ability to build trust. The galaxy watches. Your actions will determine not only Earth's future, but the future of our species' alliance. Alex felt a surge of determination. He had faced trials, danger, and fear, and humanity had shown it could stand strong. But the journey was far from over. He knew that the upcoming challenges would test every human quality he had relied on: courage, intelligence, and empathy. And he was ready. As night fell over the city, the alien fleet glimmered above Earth, a reminder of the fragile peace that had been achieved, and the work that still lay ahead. Alex looked at the stars, thinking of the billions of people depending on him, and he promised silently, humanity would not fail. For the first time, the world saw something extraordinary. Humans were not just reacting to alien power. They were proving they could lead, innovate, and inspire even in the face of overwhelming odds. And in the quiet courage of one diplomat, Earth had found a symbol of hope, strength, and the enduring spirit of humanity. The Caliph flagship hovered above the clouds, a massive structure of shimmering metal and light. Its corridors seemed alive, humming with energy, and the walls reflected faint images of distant stars. Alex Harper stepped cautiously, flanked by Solara and a small group of loyal Caliph officers. The radicals were nearby, hiding within the flagship's shadowy sections, prepared to strike at the first sign of weakness. Stay calm, Solara whispered. Her hand brushed lightly against his arm, a gesture that reminded him of the trials they had faced together. Remember what you have learned. Courage, wisdom, empathy. Those are your strengths, Alex Harper. Alex nodded, though fear gnawed at him. Unlike the simulations or the attacks on Earth, this confrontation was real. Lives hung in the balance, including those of both humans and peaceful Caliph. He took a deep breath and led the way, stepping into the first corridor. The hallway was eerily quiet. Energy pulses from the ship's systems cast shifting shadows, making even the walls feel alive. Suddenly, a group of radicals emerged, weapons drawn. Their faces were fierce, their eyes full of anger at the idea of peace. Alex Harper, one shouted, "You will not bring your species to shame." "The Queen's union with a human is impossible." Alex stepped forward, holding his hands out in a non-threatening gesture. I do not wish to fight you, he said. We can find another way. Violence will only destroy both our species. I am here to protect life, not take it. The radicals hesitated. They had expected defiance or submission, but not calm reasoning. Solara's presence beside him reinforced his message. Peace requires courage as well as strength, she said, her voice echoing through the hall. You can choose another path, one that honors our people rather than divides them. A tense silence followed. Then one of the radicals stepped forward. How can we trust him? How can we trust any human? Alex looked directly at the radical, meeting his gaze steadily. Trust is built through actions, not words, he said. I face the trials not for myself, but for humanity and for your people. Every decision I make now will protect lives, not destroy them. If you allow me to help, I will show you that humans are capable of more than war. Slowly, the radicals lowered their weapons. Alex could see doubt flicker in their eyes. They had expected conflict, yet here was a human demonstrating courage, wisdom, and empathy all at once. It was disarming. Solara nodded. This is the choice your culture must see. Violence or understanding. Leadership is not domination, it is guidance, Alex Harper. Show them the value of cooperation. With careful steps, Alex approached the radicals. He spoke to each individually, acknowledging their fears and concerns. He listened to their grievances and responded with honest, reasoned solutions. The radicals began to realize that Alex's intentions were genuine, and that the humans were not weak. They were capable of courage and strategy, capable of protecting lives even in the face of overwhelming power. The tension began to ease. One radical lowered his weapon fully, then another. Alex felt a sense of cautious hope. You see, he said softly, we can find a path together. Not just for peace, but for the survival and prosperity of both our species. Solara placed a hand on Alex's shoulder. You have done well. This is more than diplomacy. This is humanity showing its heart. As the radicals stepped back, the atmosphere shifted. What had begun as confrontation slowly transformed into dialogue. Alex and Solara facilitated the discussions, demonstrating that mutual respect and understanding could overcome anger and fear. Finally, Solara spoke to the entire group. Today we witnessed a test not just of courage or skill, but of spirit. Alex Harper has shown that humans can be allies, protectors, and friends. Let this moment mark the beginning of a new chapter for our people. Alex felt a deep sense of relief. The radicals were not fully convinced, but they were listening. They had begun to see the potential for unity, a chance for cooperation instead of endless conflict. Later, in a private chamber, Solara turned to Alex. You understand now, she said, her voice softer. Marriage in my culture is symbolic. It is a bond that represents trust and alliance. You have proven yourself worthy, not just through trials, but through action. You embody humanity's courage, wisdom, and empathy. Alex nodded. I understand, Your Majesty. I am honored to represent humanity. But I know that trust must be maintained and peace must be protected. Solara smiled faintly. Indeed, and together we will build that trust. Humanity has shown it can rise to challenges, and you, Alex Harper, are the bridge between our worlds. The two stood together, looking out at the stars. Below them, Earth shimmered like a jewel. Above them, the Cullith fleet pulsed with quiet energy. And between them, a fragile but growing bond had formed. Not just a symbolic marriage, but a testament to human spirit and the possibility of unity across species. The symbolic bond between Alex Harper and Queen Solara became the cornerstone of a historic peace treaty. Nations on Earth watched closely as humanity entered a new era of interstellar relations. For the first time, humans were not simply subjects of an alien presence, they were partners, allies, and respected representatives in a galactic dialogue. On Earth, the news spread quickly. People cheered, celebrated, and reflected on what had been achieved. Humanity had faced overwhelming odds and proved its worth. Courage, wisdom, and empathy, qualities long cherished, had carried them through challenges that had once seemed impossible. Alex and Solara worked together to establish an interstellar council. Representatives from both species gathered, exchanging knowledge, ideas, and culture. Humans shared technology and innovation, while Cullith offered insights into advanced science, energy systems, and starship design. Yet despite the sharing of knowledge, humanity retained its identity and values. The world learned that strength lay not only in technology, but in character, ingenuity, and the ability to work together. Radical Caliph factions remained, but their influence waned. They observed the cooperative success of humans and loyal Caliph alike, and began to understand that resistance through violence was futile. Dialogue, guided by courage and empathy, had achieved what force never could. On Earth, communities rebuilt. Cities once threatened by attacks flourished with new energy systems inspired by Caliph technology. Scientists, engineers, and educators collaborated across borders, demonstrating that humanity's ingenuity could solve problems on a global scale. Alex frequently traveled between Earth and the Caliph mothership. He mediated discussions, resolved disputes, and ensured that the symbolic bond he shared with Solara remained a living representation of unity. He found that leadership was not about power or domination. It was about guidance, listening, and inspiring others to act for the common good. One evening, as Alex stood on a balcony overlooking the city lights of New York, he reflected on the journey. From the arrival of the alien fleet to the trials of courage, wisdom, and empathy, and finally the confrontation with radicals, humanity had proven its worth. The world had seen that humans were capable not only of surviving, but of thriving in a universe filled with unknown challenges. Solara joined him quietly, her presence a comforting reminder of what had been achieved. "You have done more than survive," she said softly. "You have led, inspired, and built bridges. Humanity has shown it can reach across worlds without losing its heart." Alex smiled faintly. "We all did this together. Humanity, your people, and even those radicals, they've seen that cooperation works better than conflict." Solara nodded. "Yes, and this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and our journey has just begun. But now humans are no longer outsiders. You are partners, allies, and a force to be reckoned with." Across the stars, fleets from other civilizations watched. News of humanity's courage and diplomacy spread quickly. They saw a species that could act with reason, empathy, and bravery even when facing overwhelming power. For the first time, humans were respected, not feared or dismissed. On Earth, Alex addressed a global audience via holographic broadcast. "Today marks a new era," he said. "A time when humans have shown that courage, wisdom, and empathy are more powerful than fear. We have faced the unknown and risen to the challenge. Let this be a reminder. No matter the odds, humanity can achieve greatness, not just for ourselves, but for the universe around us." People around the world listened in awe. Children, inspired by the story of one diplomat and an alien queen, dreamed of the stars. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to turn imagination into reality. Leaders remembered that true strength lay in unity, compassion, and determination. As Alex looked at the stars that night, he felt a quiet satisfaction. Humanity had faced an alien species far advanced beyond Earth's technology, yet had earned respect through character, ingenuity, and empathy. A symbolic bond had become a real bridge between worlds. Solara joined him once more, gazing at Earth below. "You see, Alex Harper," she said, "this is what your people can achieve. Not just survival, but influence, respect, and the ability to shape the future." Alex nodded. "We've learned that our greatest strength isn't technology or power. It's the human spirit, our ability to care, to think, and to act with courage, wisdom, and empathy." And somewhere in the vast expanse of the universe, two species, once separated by fear and misunderstanding, began a journey together. Humanity had proven that even the smallest world could shine brightly among the stars. And in that light, the future of Earth and the galaxy looked brighter than ever.